Today I wanted to talk about the invisible people. Some long back, about 15-20 years back, one of my friend, very remarkable character by the name Jagat, he told me, he first told me about these invisible people. So he had a farm. I used to go there to get when I was in the middle of the city, to get a little fresh air and that space of the outside of the countryside. I used to go to his farm. So I used to sit and chit chat, and he told me about these invisible people. Now, it made a lot of sense what he told me. These invisible people, they're all over there in India actually. In country is full of these invisible people. Like these people who are driving here and all are invisible. To whom they are invisible, that's the next question. So, many high and mighty people are there. And then who have high opinion about themselves. And that high opinion is based on low opinion on everybody else. Ego, basically. Puffed up ego. You can categorize them as pompous. Correct description will be pompous assholes, but anyway, for polite language we can say pompous asses. So, there's such mighty opinions about themselves, such an inflated self-image and all, that most people pale into insignificance in their gaze. In this category are impressed by people in their own peer group. They always look up, they don't look down. So they only notice those who are can be considered as higher up than them. Like let's say, if it is the ego of wealth, somebody went and did this and that, and good luck also was there, and they earned a fortune, or they inherited, born with a fortune. So these characters, they don't even have to be born with fortune, they have something. So they only look at people who have a bigger fortune than them. Those who are on the roadside and all, these people with torn clothes and maybe bare feet, don't know English, or generally they don't display the trappings of wealth, let's say. So anyone who doesn't display that wealth, fat rings on the hands, and then whatever is there, people have different ideas of what is important and what is not. And in these people's opinion, that money or status or whatever it is thereafter, those who lack in that are considered as useless, and therefore not even worthy of acknowledging the presence of these people. You can see that in these politicians and these hotshot characters. आप लोग कहाँ से? झारखंड. So like those characters I just spoke, some construction workers or something, invisible. So you can see that in display everywhere. And then sometimes these invisible people, they try to get little acknowledgement from these high and mighties. And often you will see they not even acknowledge their presence. If they smile or salute, these people just look through them. If they're in a magnanimous mood, they might just nod their head a bit or give a kind of a, not a smile, just kind of a non-glare. So all these people can be considered as invisible people. All kind of poor, destitute, unfortunate people all come under that category. So for those people who are impressed by money, if they don't have much money, they are useless, therefore not worthy of acknowledging, and invisible. They don't matter. Then for these people who are puffed up with learning, big scholars, or even wannabe ones who know a little bit, they also, someone else doesn't know so many languages, computer software and this and that, they're all useless, not worth acknowledging. Some forest border person, some coolie or mali or somebody was not fortunate enough to get a good education, they're all invisible. Likewise, these powerful people, big ministers and authorities and all, many of them. So like that, depending on those people's, those mighty people's mood and opinion, these invisible people are noticed. Invisible, repulsive, and in reality these invisible people are the ones who keep the country running. किधर से आता है पानी? पानी कहाँ से आता है? वेस्ट पानी. So that's an introduction to the topic of invisible people. Often those invisible people are very fine human beings, much better than these pompous characters. However, it's all in the perception. Who is useful, who is useless, who is worth acknowledging, who is not. All this forms the basis of that invisible people idea. So that's about it for now. It's a long topic anyway, little by little I'll cover. I wanted to finish off. Often these invisible people know things that these high and mighty don't know. For example, this security guards in buildings, that chowkidar, all these English speaking high and mighty people, don't acknowledge them. They are saluting there in the gate whenever these people pass, and they are so busy, preoccupied with their great issues of their life, that they don't bother to even acknowledge. So, however, what they forget is these invisible people are watching the visible people all the time. So, many things these invisible people know. They're not really as despicable and useless as they're made out to be. Rather, these value judgments that people pass, they're in reality a value judgment on themselves. These pompous asses, they themselves actually are useless. So they can't recognize what is useful, what is not useful, what is valuable, what is not valuable. All they see is the trappings, the jewelry, car. For men it is car. Ferrari, Mercedes Benz, you made it in life. Doesn't matter if you're a completely rotten character. Those symbols of those trappings, they buy the respect, and you're no longer invisible if you have those things. In fact, the whole purpose of getting those things, those expensive toys and all, is to show out, flashy, and people should make out that this person is not at all invisible, highly visible, and therefore worthy of respect and everything. So that's a little bit about these characters.